If you're using Excel and Office 365, you probably notice that your comments look a little different than they used to. Well, comments are now threaded comments, and what this means is that you can now use comments in Excel to have conversations with your teammates. So to insert a comment, you can right-click and select New Comment, or in your Review tab, go to the Comment section and click on New Comment. Notice that when you create a new comment, Start a Conversation is grayed out as a prompt. So simply type your question and then press Ctrl-Enter or the post icon on the bottom left of your comment. So as far as replying, only people in your network can respond to your threaded comments. And so I'm currently a team of 1, so there's no one else in my network to respond. But what would happen is your teammates would see this reply grayed out as your prompt to respond to the comment. And if you need to ask a specific person a question, you can tag them using the @ symbol followed by their name, and this will send them a notification with a link directly to the comment that they were tagged in. Just know that any users tagged have to also be using Office 365, and the file needs to be saved to SharePoint or OneDrive for Business. And if you want to see the full conversation, you can either scroll on each conversation if you have multiples, or in your Review tab, in the Comments section, click Show Comments, or the Comments button in the top right to see all the conversations in that worksheet. Then, when you decide that you're done with a discussion, it's a good idea to go back to the first message in that thread and click on this ellipsis and select whether you would like to mark the thread as resolved or delete the thread. Now, marking it resolved will save it and will make it so that no more comments can be made. So currently, you don't have the option to resize or reformat threaded comments like you could with the old comments. Now, you can still print these, and to do so, you'd want to go to your Page Layout tab and go to your Page Setup, and in the Sheet tab, go to your comment, and you'll want to select at End of Sheet. The option for us displayed on Sheet does not work with the new threaded comments. So what will happen is your threaded comments will be printed on their own sheet at the end of your document. So where did the old comments go? Well, so they are now called notes. So just as before, you would still want to use these to add a note that does not include a full discussion. So to add a note, you can come to the cell where you'd like to add the note and simply press Shift F2 from your keyboard, or select your cell, right-click, and then click on New Note, or come back to your Review tab and select New Notes from the Notes section. Also, if you prefer to not be disrupted with back and forth discussion while you work, consider creating what will be your comments as notes, and then you can come back to the Notes section in the Review tab and select Convert to Comments to change all your notes to threaded comments. Just be cautious with this, as there's not yet the option to review each individual note as you convert them to a comment. For more tutorials like this, click on these links. Thanks.